long and tall with that slender groove. I love your smell and the way you move. Can I help it if I want you tonight?
I don't know, Chris. But hello, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill. That is the Coffee Company. I'm joined with Mr. Dagul. We've got Mr. Chris here helping me do some stuff. I think we've got an envelope somewhere. I'll have to look for you, Chris. Give me a sec. Yeah. But how is everyone? How are you, Brian?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. It's another sunny day.
It is.
It's a great day. I'm here with you, and we're here with everyone in chat, and hopefully everyone as well. What's been happening, Brian? What happened at the weekend?
Nothing much. I had a relaxed one Saturday. Just chilled. Yesterday I had to go to a stone setting and we did a recording, and today just relaxing.
Yeah.
Really
Always a good
eventful.
time, Brian. Always a good time. But yeah, as you can hear, we've got some work going on here, but we've got some things ready for you, Brian.
Okay.
Right. Let's welcome to see who's in the chat. Who is in the chat? We've got the sheriff himself, Mr. Mark Cousins. Hello, buddy. Hello. Good afternoon, Ben and Brian. Can't wait to watch to the end because I've got my yearly MOT at the doctor's. Great stuff.
Good luck.
Great stuff. We got Welshie in the house. Big
up,
up,
Welshie.
Able to my faves. Big up, day off today. Whoa. Big up to all in chat. Great to see you got a day off, Welshie. Big up, Ben, Brian, and all in chat. Cannot wait for the summer to be over. The constant heat is killing me. Big up, Coos. Hopefully you're well, buddy. Hopefully you're doing okay. We've got 10-inch himself. Big up, Alan Sibley. Big up, sir. Hopefully you're good. Hopefully you're well. We got Jason Bell in the house. Big up, everyone. Big up, Jason. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon, Samba. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully you're well. And fair enough. All good here. A bit cooler here. Yeah, yesterday was awful, wasn't it, Brian? That was bad.
Yeah, it was extremely hot.
Yeah, it's not
extremely.
It was inhumane how bad it was yesterday. See if I can find them. No envelopes here. But what are you planning this week, Brian? What are we planning this week, and what are we chatting about? The week last week, and now we're on to a new week. What's going to happen this week?
Who knows, mate? Who knows? This is an unpredictable world we live in. We certainly support an unpredictable football club. So God knows what's going to come. God knows.
God knows. We got Sophie in the house.
Cheers, Sophie. And happy anniversary, Iggy and Sophie. Happy anniversary for yesterday. Many happy years to come.
Hopefully. And to Mr. Iggy as well, to Signora Iggy. But yeah, I'm so happy it's not 30 degrees again. It was so bad. Bad.
I love the heat. I love it. But you know what? Indoors, it's unbearable.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unbearable. If I was ever to win the lottery or make it big and buy a house or build a house here, one of the first things that I say is air conditioning is a must.
Build the house around the air conditioning unit.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be done. It has to be done. It's incredible. We're not equipped for it, and it needs to be done.
It's just that the buildings are designed to keep the heat in rather than keep the heat out.
Yeah.
So it's just most houses are just not built for it. My house was built in the 30s, so it's an oven. I
can imagine.
Yeah, it's just an oven. You can only do so much. We got Daniel in the house. One love to all. Hello, Daniel. Hopefully you're well. But it doesn't seem to be much going on. We've got the Ashes, which is now on a break, which none of us watch.
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing to us. We've had Glastonbury, which I enjoyed a bit of Glastonbury. I don't know if you watched any of it. And Ben and Sim are wonderful friends. Not Ben and Sim. Ben and Ashley were down there.
And Tim. And Tim.
And Tim.
And Sim, yeah. Ben, Sim, Ashley.
Awesome. So I got it right, spot on. Got it right for once. It was a good concert. I mean, it's not the same anymore. It's not the same. It just isn't.
It's not, but you know what? I'm a huge Elton John fan, and when I went to watch the movie, Elton John's movie in Canada, like I did with Bohemian Rhapsody, I was singing the whole way through.
Yeah.
Just seeing the sheer amount of people, the
Yeah.
sheer amount of people. The biggest thing I ever went to, I went to see Robbie Williams in Nebworth. I can't even remember what year it was. But that was something special. When you see that, and I've always wanted to see Elton, and I never got the joy. Or I haven't had the joy.
Brian. He's still touring.
Yeah, well, he was in Toronto. He started this tour. I think he started it in Toronto.
Yeah, he started it in Toronto.
And we just couldn't get tickets. It just went like that.
Yeah.
So
my family.
He's been he was incredible. He was incredible last night.
Absolutely brilliant. I saw him recently and it was incredible. He was absolutely brilliant.
Is that? I tell you what though, Ben, I'm intrigued. I saw the thumbnail and the title of this show, and I was like, "Oh, what's that going to be about?"
Yeah.
So
it's about what's it called? Promoting yourself. I think recently we've gone on the discovery that we've got to know each other. You've got to be self-supporting. There is too many things where we look at the bad stuff that we are, but it's all about knowing that we have got good qualities and we need to support our good qualities. So that's the idea. So
completely
love yourself. Look after yourself.
Without a doubt, you have to. But most importantly, Joe, it is as well. We're looking after yourself. I think what you got to remember is, I certainly am blessed. I know we've got very good support networks.
Yeah.
We've got very, very good support networks, whether it be my family, whether it be my Tottenham community family, whether it be my friends outside of this. Thankfully, through everything that I've been through, you only find out who your friends are when the going gets tough.
Yeah,
when everything is good, everyone wants to know you. But when the going gets tough, is when you find out who stands up and fights for you, or says, right, I've got to make sure that person's okay and do what I've got to do. And that's when you find out who's what's what. And I'm very, very lucky to have that support network. As a you, mate.
Yeah. It's a thing, Brian. We don't look after ourselves enough. We don't look after our mental health. We don't look after anything now, and we don't look after the many facets of what we need, and we forget, and then it just ends up going down a bad road, and that's. You've got to look after yourself.
Well, I'll tell you what, that almost happened to me in Toronto. I don't know. I'm sure I've told you, Ben. When I first moved to Toronto, I couldn't apply for anything because obviously my visa weren't there. I had medical insurance and everything. But once I had my visa and I could work, I got my job with Booking.com straight away, which was all ready to go. Within 5 months, I was promoted. But one of the things I didn't do is try and find out an alcoholic support network or a charity or a counselling service.
Yeah.
And then around about the time that we got to the Champions League semi-final with Ajax and in the final, especially the semi-final, all of a sudden out of nowhere. And how long had I been sober then? 2019, 11 years.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, I was so close to a drink.
Yeah.
So close to a drink. I had a drink in my hand. I had a bottle here and I was shaking like that because I knew what was about to happen. And it was because I hadn't sorted out that network. And because everything was going so well, I had my wife there, I was in the country I love, I got my visa, got a job, got a promotion. Yeah. But you never know when something could just...
You never know when it's going to turn, Brian. You never know when it's going to turn.
And do you know what? The best thing about that, when that happened, is my beautiful wife, who thankfully she saw me in Israel, and before we were together and saw me how bad I was in alcohol and drugs. When she saw I was going through this, she actually found a organisation that help families who live with addicts to help them better understand what it's like living with an addict, but also to offer them the support of the stress of living with an addict. And also that charity or that counselling service obviously did stuff for for alcoholics as well. But my Ilana was going for about 2 months straight just to find out how she can better support me.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show what this woman is to me. And without her, God knows where it would have gone to. But yeah, that's why it's so vital.
I mean, it is, Brian. It's just that we've built a community here of people that do support each other, and it's now starting to bear fruit in some of the things. We're helping each other out. We're talking to each other. We help each other's streams, and those little support. Even though it's not a lot on YouTube, we've got 320 subs here and 5,000 on Tottenham on Tour. But those little things really make a difference, and that really helps us out.
I can't tell you. I mean, I will speak like Sophie. And Sophie, who I only know obviously through Iggy, obviously, and I only know Iggy because it was a friend of someone from Tottenham when I was on Tottenham away.
Yeah.
They're like family to me, and Sophie has checked up on me regularly when she's seen me on streams like, Brian, you're tired, or Brian, you do. Always on the lookout for me. And there's other people, Graham's in the chat, other people that drop me, whether you've got me on WhatsApp or Twitter or whatever. Kuva, the support network, just from John, even John Fishman. You can go listen. There's a lot of people in this chat already. Anytime people are down, it's like, Brian, you okay? I just saw you on the stream. You look like this, or I'm here if you need me. It's incredible. It's incredible. And for people that want to, recently this community's coming for a bit of a bashing through one fault or the other.
Yeah.
But it goes to show just how tight and how wonderful this community is. Carl Simpson as well. Carl is who literally from day one, no matter where I've been on, has been there. There's so many. Like I said, I can name so many people. Welsh, there's another one. There's so many. So like Welshie came down. All right, I didn't get to meet her, but I will meet her because of this community. She got on a train from Cardiff and came down and spent the night in London so she can meet up with a few of us. Mark Cousins came down from Somerset.
What was that?
There's other people that have travelled the length and breadth of the country just to spend time with us.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Just to Welshie's rescinding that. Yeah, we don't really know, but yeah, it is. When you spend multiple times online with these people,
yeah,
they do become friends, and we do talk to each other regularly. Every other day, I put whenever I do put something on bloody Instagram. Welshie's always one of the first people to like it. She likes it immediately. Lisa, all the way in Mexico,
yep,
to like on it. Chris Agenbar comes down from Braintree or Chelmsford a lot. Stuart came down here last week. It's all about so many of them.
You got Tom 81.
Tom 81. Then you got Tomo that comes from Chigwell. Tomo's a great lad as well.
Well, do you remember as well, Ben? We met. We were in the Beehive with Iggy and a couple of months. Do you remember I met up with that guy Graham and his wife?
Yes.
Well, that guy Graham literally messaged me just before or at Christmas saying, Brian, I'm in Toronto. I'm coming to the Scotland Yard to see you. Yeah. I've heard so much about. I get that a lot. I'm coming to Toronto. Will you be in the Scotland Yard? And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of in England right now, but we've met up a couple of times. But there's people literally that are coming. I get messages on LinkedIn saying I'm coming to Toronto. Will you be at the Scotland Yard for that? And I've met up with tons of them. Yeah, it's just incredible. It's incredible.
It's so like we're only humble YouTube, but we're not big YouTubers, but we will probably never be massive YouTubers in terms of actual like big numbers like 1 million, 3 million subscribers. But what we do have is what some of the big YouTubers don't have. They don't have a community they can rely on because they get so big that you lose those people through the crowd. There's so many people, but what we have is so beautiful. And here's another. Here we got Perchy in the chat. We've got Moondog. Big up. Proud to be a Geordie saying like the effing stream. Absolutely, you people feel like family. It's rescinded. Mark Cousins. How are you, my guys? We're doing
Up,
good.
Perchy.
And Perchy is still El Bego saying 3 away from 1,000. Let's go.
I'm actually going to give him a more Brazilian name, an El Biguinho.
Yeah, El Beguinho. Yes. Yes.
I'm going to give him more Brazilian.
All welcome to Cardiff. Let's go to Cardiff. Let's go to Cardiff. Sorry, Perchy, I can't sub again, although I might unsub at 999 so I can be the one. Everyone's going to do that, apparently. Everyone's trying to do that.
It'll go down from 999 to about 700, and then everyone will be like, no, I'm not going to do it until he gets to 999 again.
Yeah. Absolutely. Welshie is sub to the Perch, big up. The bigger you get, the less connection you have with your... Absolutely. But you've got to remember those original people. You've got to remember your original people. Absolutely.
When I go on about loyalty, people will see, whenever I go on a show and you see me do that,
yeah.
Every time I see the name Sue
It means
Smith
you're about to give someone the diamond cutter.
No, every time I see Sue Smith in whatever chat I am, even if they don't bring the chat up, I do that because she's the very first person that always supported me on when I was going on about Levy Out on We Are Tottenham TV. Was the very and no matter what happens, like I said, loyalty is everything to me. So It doesn't matter if I ever got to 1 million or we got to 1 million subs or whatever. Always the people from day one you remember. Always.
Senor El Beggio, yeah. Oh, we've got Gareth in the chat. Big up, Gav. Big up, Gav. You two have a Facebook video. Big up, Gav. Big up. Look forward to seeing you a lot next year, buddy, with your new fancy ticket that we're going to be hanging out more, and there's always going to be fun. Oh, wow, it doesn't stop. Hello, Mia. Hello. Mark saying, don't come to Yeovil. It's a dump. Well, that's not very nice, but I'll take your word for it.
Don't work for the tourism board then, Mark.
Yeah. Sophie is actually saying that's actually the sign for vagina in British Sign Language. So
interesting.
So either you're giving someone the diamond cutter or you're calling them that.
Or I am just calling them a diamond, but what is wrong with people? Oh my God! I never in a million years. How many people I've seen do that sign and never ever said, "Do you know what that is?"
No.
There you go, Sophie.
Sophie, you've taught us something today. You have taught us something. We've got Sophie from Proud to be a Geordie. We've got Perches. I think that's hilarious. Gav is saying, whoop, can't wait, mate. Look forward to it. Gav is a laugh. Biggest laugh.
He's a top man. Top man.
Mark's right. I was based in Yeovilton. Yeah. I'm not gonna be the one that bashes Yeovil.
Never been there.
I've never been there, so I'm not going to bash it. But yeah, so that's the reason for the stream title, Brian, and not some other nefarious reason. But yeah, support yourself. Not only do you need people to support you, you need to support you. And that's
big time.
An absolutely massive thing. Apparently, Perchy, 20 here and only 14 likes. Have a word. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, wait a minute. Make that 15.
Woohoo!
I always forget to like the streams I go on because I'm too busy being on them.
And make sure, if you don't know, sub to the channel. It's great. It really helps us out a lot. We are at 322.
I really thought when you said if you don't know, you were going to say something else.
Nah, I'm not. No copyrights. A massive thank you to Mr. Moondog for a £1 donation. So I will be adding that to the pot when I get the chance, sir. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everyone give a big up to Moondog. It really helps. Really helps us out a lot. And that will be going towards the Coffee Caster. And if you don't know, we're not going to say the line. We are doing a donation drive. And we're going to be building a guitar for my shop. And we're calling it the Coffee Caster. So all the donations can either be via PayPal or Streamlabs, which I can put the stream. I can put it in the chat. Blah blah blah. No, wrong one. I got the wrong one.
You got the wrong one?
I got the wrong one. Oh well. I put the right link now. All donations are going towards me building a guitar, and hopefully I can build that guitar on stream. It's going to be hilarious.
That would be interesting viewing.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you don't know, you can give your head a wobble. I don't want to wobble my head; it'd fall off probably. I'm built like sand.
I thought you were about to say built like
I
Ferdinand.
hope the pot is really is going there. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows, Gav? But anything you would like to talk about, Brian?
No, nothing. I mean, the only thing I spoke about it on Perch's show is Robbie Keane.
Yes.
Robbie Keane.
Muzzle tov, Robbie. Muzzle tov.
Yeah. It's do you know what? If someone said to me, "You've got 10,000 rumors you can put out,"
Yeah.
this wouldn't even enter my head.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even enter my head.
That man's going to be a god over there now. He's going to be an absolute god. He already was. He's going to be even more of a god.
It's big news for Israel. It's big news for Tel Aviv, the city that never sleeps. Good on him. Good on him. And not just because he's going to Israel, but I mean going to a different country.
Very different language, and learning his craft, which is what I always told that Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard have to do, and they didn't. They didn't learn that craft. As soon as they got a big job, they dumped their club for it.
Yeah, and like I said, I speak limited Hebrew. I was a lot stronger when I lived out there. It is a hard language to learn.
I learned it for 6 years and I can barely speak a word of it.
Yeah, it's a very, very hard language to learn. But
I want to go back to it though. I want to go back to learning it. I mean, Ivrit is a difficult language, especially if you're learning, because it's two languages. It's modern Ivrit and Hebrew, which is old school. And it's difficult.
And like I said, it's past, present, future tense, masculine and feminine, like French. I mean, I could start having a conversation with a guy and I'd be speaking feminine to him. They let me get away with it because they knew I was trying, but it got so cool. Oh, and I was drunk all the time. So the fact that I could put two sentences together in English, let alone Hebrew, was a miracle. But do you know what? It's a wonderful city, Tel Aviv. It's where I met Ilana. The beaches are banging. The lifestyle is quality. The weather is hot. But he should. It's a great experience for him. It'll make him stronger and a better person as well.
Gav is saying I used to date a girl from Tel Aviv, and she probably punched you in the face quite a lot. They're aggressive.
I mean, you don't mess with Israeli women.
Yeah.
You just don't. Obviously, they're all military trained. But that's the thing in Israel. One thing I did see is that you didn't really see anyone fighting with each other because everyone knew Krav Maga could just knock the shit out of each other. So it's just like, why bother? But no, he'll have an incredible time out there.
What does Achi mean? But basically, Ach means brother, but we've made it Achi because that's our thing. Ach means brother and Achot means sister.
Yeah, and if you say actually, it's a brother of mine.
But yeah, that's our thing we do in this section of the community.
Yeah,
we do it a lot. It's but now you know what it means.
There you go. We're teaching Robbie Keane. Maybe that could be a new thing for you. We'll teach a Hebrew word every day that Robbie Keane is in Tel Aviv.
She was hot. I was serving at the time. Great stuff.
Yeah. I have to say one of the things you'll learn first is the Israeli version of this, which is so much better. It's that, but you do it straight in their face, like bang, as close to the eye as you can. And oh my God, I love doing that. It's like bang, so much better than just going like that.
Whoop.
Boom.
Yeah.
Loved it. He'll come back and definitely be more expression. He'll definitely express a lot more with his arms coming back from Israel.
We do more than most people, Dagul.
Yeah, exactly.
People think it's just an Italian or a European thing to do that, but like, how many times have we gone up to a mirror in the morning and you have to?
Well, you know what? In Israel, I hated that when anyone went like that to you, like literally like that. It was like, wait a minute. And I went into, for anyone that used to live in Israel and knows Israel, there's a menswear shop that I'd probably put it like a River Island or that kind of thing, and it's called Castro.
I know it.
And I went in there when I first moved out there, and I must have spent about £1,000 or had £1,000 worth of clothing ready to buy it. And I got to the cashier, and she was on her personal phone, her mobile. I was like, "Yeah, can I pay for this?" Like £1,000 worth of stuff, and she just went like that to me. I went, "Okay." I just threw it all in the fucking air and walked out. I was like, "Anyone does that to me, I'm like, piss off." I hate it.
I do that a lot, Brian, because I've spent most of my time in Italy. So
Yeah, I just can't. I can't. Do you know what? If it was my mum and she said like, "Wait a minute, that's different." But when I've got £1,000 worth of stuff, and £1,000
don't do
English
that
into
for a
Israeli
customer.
money is a hell of a lot of money back then. Back then was a hell of a lot of money.
If you know someone, you can do that, or if you're at football.
Yeah, yeah. But you do that to a stranger. I was just like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" I was like, "Bye
Greeks
bye."
use it as well.
Yeah.
Greeks use it as well. Good to know. Good to know. It's again Mediterranean countries. They're really close to each other.
It is, but like I said, it's a wonderful, wonderful city. Tel Aviv. It was too busy for me.
Yeah.
It's just non-stop. It is just absolutely
I don't understand why we're having this conversation without our brother Amir. He should be the one here.
Well, Amir's working.
Amir's working.
But yeah, it's a incredible city. But it's just it just like they say with New York, the city that never sleeps.
Dizengoff Street is ridiculous.
Yeah, some very good
Some
bars
people
on there.
say that Tel Aviv is the biggest coffee drinking city in the world, and you could believe it because they are just drinking like it's like water. It's not even.
Well, no, in Israel, it was the first time I had a Turkish coffee. I didn't know you weren't meant to take that bit at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I gulped it and I was like, "Oh my god, but I do love Turkish coffee."
Turkish coffee's great. Big fan. But you've got all those melting pots.
Yeah.
But I think the average Israeli drinks like 8 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah, that would surprise me.
On a slow day, it's like bang, bang, and it's all filtered.
Yeah.
It's not like espressos. It's all filter coffee. It's like bang, bang.
Yeah, you're bang on the money. You're bang on the money.
But it's always great. I mean, I couldn't drink that much. I find London too busy sometimes. London is chill compared to a lot of cities. I mean, I've recently spent time in Milan. Of course, I live in London. But some cities are unbelievable compared. Like New York is like ridiculous compared to London.
Well, Ben, you saw in Toronto. Toronto is a is a busy city. It's a big city. But literally, even at Christmas, like if you walk down Oxford Circus, you're like sardines in a tin.
Yeah.
On the streets of Toronto, you can go like this.
Yeah.
And hardly barge into people. But when you get into the shopping centres, it's busy. But Toronto, which is a fast-paced city, is nowhere near as busy.
Yeah.
As here. It's like, honestly, I keep saying when I go back, it's like, oh my god. I've literally spent the last week and a half doing. I've been watching Suits, which is a show I love, and I've seen so many times back and forth the season. But it's all filmed in Toronto. It's all filmed in Toronto. Like when they do the views and everything, it's New York. But I'm literally not even watching the actors now. I'm looking outside the windows and thinking, oh my god, I know where that is. I want to be back there. I want to be back there. So yeah, Toronto.
Yeah, what's it? In Cyprus, the old men sit outside the coffee shops for hours, drinking coffee, smoking, and playing cards. That's life.
That or backgammon in Israel
as well. It's like the south of Italy, and chill streets of that's what they do. They sit outside, they have a cup, you watch the world go by.
Or in Israel, it's backgammon, which is named sheshbesh. Backgammon is huge in Israel.
In India, everyone is chill. Indians are really chill people, especially our wonderful friend Bobby K, except when he gets in a car. The moment he gets in the car, he goes from the most chill person in the world to hands out.
Yeah.
Big up,
yeah,
Bobby.
He can be.
Big up, Bobby. But it's always fun. Always fun. London is mental busy. I'm always glad to get home and get run over by a tractor. Yeah.
It is crazy here. It is crazy in this country. I haven't done Oxford Street. I haven't done Oxford Street.
New York, it's nothing really. But I think
London's
good busy. London is good busy. New York is not good busy. There's a difference. London might actually be busier than New York, but it's so much more respectful busy. Like in New York, someone will walk into you and make you apologise.
I'd like to see that
No.
happen.
No, I'm not apologising to you. You've just slammed into me and then started shouting at me.
Yeah, I'd like to. I haven't done New York yet.
New York is a great city. I do love New York, and it's somewhere everyone should go if they can get a chance.
My cousin's just moved there. But if I do, for me, from Toronto, it's an hour and a quarter flight.
Yes.
That's it. So it's like literally you're up and you're down. And Ilana and I keep meaning to go for a long weekend, but that's all I think I could do.
It's you've got to do the sights, of course, but there's so many good things in New York. Some great food. New York for me is probably the best eating city in the United States that I've been to. Like, I've been to a lot of America now, and there's two places. If I wanted to go there and eat, it has to be California or New York. The rest of it just seems like fake food. I liked Boston. I love Florida. I like Connecticut. I've been to quite a bit of America, but the only cities that I can eat the food in and be like, I actually quite like that it's New York and California, maybe because of European influence.
Yeah, but I think if you went to Vegas, you'd have to change because everything is available at Vegas. Everything.
I don't plan on going to Vegas anytime soon.
I after my first time of going, never, ever, ever will I not be going without Ilana. Ever. There's just no way. If I get invited to another bachelor party or stag do, as we call them here, there is no way I'm going without Ilana. So it'll just be a no.
I just as much as I'd like to go to Vegas, I don't think I would. What would I do? I don't like gambling. I don't like gambling. For me, it's if I want to gamble, I just bet on Tottenham.
It's
I'm not going to bet on. It's just not fun for me. It's not fun for me. Good afternoon, Tom. Good afternoon, Paddy. Hopefully you're well. Didn't realise how loud London was until I moved out in the country village life. Iggy and I are by far the... But Iggy's Italian and you're Greek, Sophie. So you guys are always like that. It's like always. Like people think I'm loud. I like going to London, but not too often. I love it here now by the beach. Everyone is so chill. Yeah, Cornwall's the same. Dorset, Devon, they're all very chill. Somerset.
Honestly, I'll tell you now, people that used to live in London, like Sophie just said, like I mean, it's just saying, as soon as you get out of London, you're like, oh my God, thank God. Yeah. Honestly, you're like, thank God. Well, it's not just England for London for me. It's this country. It's. I'm used to a certain different quality of life now. But yeah, London is just it's not what it was when we were growing up. For whatever reason, whether it be crime, whether it be whatever, the cost of living, it's not the same. It is not the same.
It's now become a beast. It's basically become Gotham. It's so busy. It's mad.
It's a crazy. Like I said, don't get me wrong. London is home, and I'm always proud to say I'm from England and I'm from London. But this place now is just to visit. All right, it's a long stay for me here for whatever reasons they may be. But yeah, this place for me is just now. After this visit, it's like 2 weeks and I'm done and I'm out. Goodbye. See you later.
Yeah, I don't know any different, Brian, because I live here. So
yeah,
I do. Luckily, I live in Essex, so I'm out of the heat for the most part. Of course, you've got to adjust to Essex life, which can be weird. It's weird being in Essex because people just act differently. You know, the orange tan all everywhere. People were crazy, just shouting at each other for no reason, just like an episode of Love Island or The Only Way Is Essex. It's mad, but compared to London, Loughton is chill.
Yes, it's like Cop Foster's, and it's like where Ricky and Sophie lived as well, because they lived very close to me. We're close enough to get into London very quickly, but we're far enough out that we don't get all the major, like the central London kind of hustle and bustle and issues. Yes, it's like where I'm in Toronto. I am close enough to be in downtown within half an hour, but I'm far enough out that it's a very suburban, quiet area.
Yeah,
which is the best.
Tom is saying, all good, thanks. Hope everyone is well. We are. Gotham is like an outskirts compared to London. Once I was on the floor, a man was laying on the floor, injured, not to upset YouTube, covered in blood. Yep. I've seen some stuff in Shoreditch. I've seen some rather mental things just walking along in Shoreditch. There are some crazy things, but we will not talk about them on stream because they're rather gross.
Yes.
But yeah, London is probably the greatest city ever imagined. But the problem with that is the problem with it being the greatest city ever, which means everyone wants to live there. It's got the best transport system of any city I've ever seen because there's trains, there's buses, there's trams, there's taxis, there's Uber. It's got everything. If you want to get around London, you can get around London very quickly and very efficiently, which is not the same as New York, which has got terrible buses, terrible subways, good air conditioning now on the subways. You've got traffic that's at a standstill all the time and expensive. Taxis are expensive, but it's crazy.
It is. Like I said, I still say the town that I call home, my proper home now, is the greatest city on the planet. London, like I said, for what it's got, has got a lot of pluses to it.
Yeah.
But like I said, it doesn't have the quality of life. Yeah. It doesn't have how friendly people are. It doesn't have a few other things that would need to tick the boxes. But infrastructure-wise, it's right up there, isn't it?
It's great. The subway can be improved, and they are improving it. I mean, admittedly, where I was staying in Eglinton, well, they make fun of it, saying it's always a construction site because they are constantly improving it.
Yeah,
it's difficult. It's very difficult. Me, so I didn't want my boys to grow up, things like that, and that's why I moved. Yeah, I live in Sydney. It's very much like London, a fraction. It's very much. I'd love to go to Sydney. I'm planning on it next year. Sydney and Melbourne are two amazing cities. I do want to go. Moved from the middle of Romford to Bucker's-Hill. It's like one end of the scale to the other, and they're only 7 miles apart. It's true. It is absolutely true. I mean, Bucker's-Hill is very close to here, and Bucker's-Hill is lovely.
I used to do a lot of drinking in Romford. A lot of drinking.
Cosmo, stay away from Luton. Yep, stay away from Luton. Lies. Only quick on foot and tube. 45 minutes to do M5M. To do 5 meters ain't quick. Well, use the tube. Tubes and buses, because they've got the bus lanes.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of Londoners end up my way in holiday homes, and they hate them. And they hate them, which is funny because, like, the majority of the Cornish, like, I know Somerset and Cornwall are two different places. Somerset is a lot more forgiving to holiday owners, holiday home owners. Cornwall, the Cornish hate them. Like, if you go into Cornwall, there's literally, they've drawn on the sign, no non-Cornish people. They hate it. Which I understand it, but it's probably one of these most sparsely populated regions of the UK. So that's why people buy holiday homes there, which the majority of their income is through tourism. And when I'm saying majority, it's probably 80% of their income, and they want rid of it. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Fitzy saying, Brian, are you from near Hadley Wood? Yes.
Yeah, Hadley Wood is 5 minutes away from me. Literally a 5 minute, no, not even a 5 minute drive, a 2 minute drive.
Yeah. I've lived in Cardiff for 14 years, love it. Before that, in Washington, D.C., I do pop in to London. You can do that. You can pop to London. You can pop there from Wales. I mean, it's like 3 hours on the train, I think. Not exactly a pop, but it's like, it's so 3 hour drive doesn't get you anywhere in America for the most part. Yeah. So it's different. Alan, yes, stay away from Luton. I'm too close to it for my liking. Work in London every night and I have to do it. Totally and utterly bonkers. Yes, it is. It is. It's cooling down. A lot of the more busy parts. It's the hustle and bustle of London moves. The hustle and bustle was in Shoreditch for many years, but until, unfortunately, probably some fault due to the Kaufman family as well, Shoreditch has become too cool, become too expensive, and now all the cool people have left. But I was in Hackney Wick Saturday night, and it was rammed. Yes, there was a baseball game just before. the bars opened. So probably everyone that went to a baseball game went to the bars and the clubs.
Yeah.
Packed quick.
Baseball, the most boring sport. Boring sport. My God, it's mind-numbingly boring.
Yeah. I did enjoy it, but I enjoy watching other sports, but it's mostly, but I don't have to watch it all the time.
Oh, I've been to one Blue Jays game, and that's enough to last me a lifetime.
Yeah. 2 hours to London on the train, great stuff. 2-minute drive could be 10 yards in London. Yeah, it could be, it might not be.
As much as that.
Yeah. Passing Luton as we speak. It's the only place I know where the birds fly upside down. Oh, that's brilliant. Shoreditch is excellent, but I make sure I'm out of there by 12 a.m. Yes, indeed. Working in Shoreditch, like I had to, if I got used to get out of work at 6 o'clock when I worked in Shoreditch, 6, half 6. It was unbearable if you wanted to get on the train. So I would always get home at like 8:30. So it's like, I'm just going to the pub. I'm going to sit and have a drink for a couple of minutes.
That's what I did when I was drinking during the summer. I was just like, I'm not getting on the underground. During the blazing heat, I'll go have a few drinks and then go home, and it was worth it every single time because it's a nightmare down there.
Half an hour is a massive difference on the underground. 2 minutes, because I even in Woodford, I got on the train during rush hour. One train came and it was rammed, full sardines. Next train comes, Epping train and a Loughton train, so they're both going to the same place for me. One train was full, the other one was almost empty.
Yeah.
Because everyone just to get on the next train.
The good thing for me, though, is whenever I go into London, I am guaranteed a seat because of Cockfosters, it's the first station. I'm guaranteed a seat. And then normally on the way home, once we get past certain stations, you're guaranteed a seat by, if you haven't got one, but there are times where it's just, not only is it mobbed on the trains, excuse me, but the platforms, you can't even get on the platform because it's, and then you've got to remember how far below ground you are. And if it's like 30 degrees plus up here, multiply that down there, it's awful.
It's unbelievable. Well, the Northern Line is the busiest train platform on the London Underground.
Seriously?
Yeah, the Northern Line is the busiest.
Wow, I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah,
well, actually,
the Northern Line is massively busy. Yeah, London is very expensive to live in now. Sold my house in North London, bought something where I live now for almost half the price. No longer a slave to that system. It is, it's crazy. I hate the underground in the summer. I'm armpit height when people hold on. Yeah.
That's one of the big problems.
Yeah. It's
one of the big problems.
Yeah, it's because the trains are they're too rocky. You wouldn't need it if the trains didn't go like that. The trains are like that half the time.
That was a very good visual aid there.
Yeah, it's just like, it works. Graham is saying it took me 2.5 hours to get home from Royal Ascot on Friday. I bet that was fun, though.
Yeah, and I bet, Graham, you'd had a few sherbets.
Yeah.
So you were in a more jolly mood than rush hour.
I hope Graham was wearing like a full top hat as well, like full gentleman, monocle.
Pocket watch.
Imagine it. Just going up to the king and just saying, "Hello, sir. Leave you out. Your Majesty, leave you out." And the king would be like, "Purple and gold, mate."
Or he'd go like that.
Yeah. You need to do that. I work on the underground. It's blazing hot down there at the minute. 40 degrees centigrade, even 50 in places down. Yeah,
no, thank you.
Unfortunately, in my line of work, I see the worst of the worst. Yeah. He's asking what he does. Bet it smells delightful on the underground. Yeah, I bet it doesn't. Just to say, I want to see that next time it's Ascot, we need to get him a full monkey suit, as they call it, the full tuxedo and the top hat, and of course the monocle.
Have him looking like the Monopoly man.
Yeah, basically, just like I think that'd be hilarious. I think it'd be great. I mean, we should probably do that as well, Brian. Top hats.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I think we would look excellent.
I'll take your word for it.
You with a monocle would be hilarious, Brian. You with a monocle, just taking your monocle off.
I'd wear that. I'd rather wear that than the top hat. Put it that way.
Yeah. Hello, Tyree. Hello, all the cool people have summed to Walthamstow and Tottenham. Interesting. Tottenham Hale, not Tottenham. No, Tottenham Hale can be pretty cool.
Very true.
Walthamstow is starting to hustle and bustle.
It is. It has been for a while, but it's really starting to now.
It's starting to be that sort of there's some cool places in Walthamstow. Hackney Wick is really cool. I mean, just where I was, it's like new brewery, food places, clubs. It's great. Brian would look like Steptoe going to a funeral.
Yeah, I could rock that look. If you're talking about a fish and chip shop, it's that you've missed out one letter on it. It's called Chippers. Yeah, it's award winning. It's a very, very good fish and chip shop. If you're talking about chippies, and not like a chipper as in a carpenter kind of thing.
Yeah, we don't have any good ones. Next door's really good, but it's not a traditional chippy. I do miss a traditional chippy, but they're just not here.
Yeah, chippers is great.
A good chippy is great. Also, we need a proper salt beef bagel shop out here again. Norman Goldberg's is a great miss.
Well, Con Foster's Parade has now become you're either a hairdresser or you're a restaurant.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's become. It was there were so many other things there, but now it's literally become you're either a restaurant. There used to be all the banks there. I think all the banks have gone. You're either a restaurant or a hairdresser.
What's the nearest shopping centre to Cockfosters? Is it
shopping centre? You've got Wood Green.
Yeah.
You've got Enfield Town shopping is a like indoor, outdoor kind of shopping precinct or shopping centre. But Wood Green and probably Brent Cross are like the biggest like.
How close is it to Westfield?
Say again?
Stratford, Westfield, White City.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get to by car and everything, but obviously by train and everything, you got to get into. You got to go to West Ham territory. You got to go to Stratford. But yeah, you see, you've got. I would say Enfield. You've got Barnet the Spires, but that's just nothing. That is a nothing shopping centre, and hardly anyone goes to it. So I'd say Wood Green is the biggest shopping centre, closest. Then you got Brent Cross and yada yada yada.
Well, she's got a great question. If you could choose a place to live in London, where would it be? Interesting.
Well, my dream house, which then got put down. It's not an animal. Got smashed down to make like. If people know Hadley Wood like Fitzpatrick does, it's a very, very, very affluent area where a lot of footballers live. The houses are like £4, £5, £6 million upwards. There's a few houses in Hadley Wood I'd love to live. There's Bishop's Avenue in Finchley.
Yeah, I hate Bishop's Avenue though. Oh. It's horrible. It's so tacky. It's so tacky.
They're places I would love to. It's more to the point. If I could move out of London, if Alana ever came back here, I'd want to live either in Bournemouth or Newcastle, either very bottom of the country or very top of the country. It certainly wouldn't be London.
I think Radlett is up there.
Radlett is lovely. Radlett is banging.
It's got the affluence of
it's a good shout actually.
Word, but it's got the class of it. It's so classy, Radlett. It's so nice and
That's
so
a really good shout.
Radlett,
very good shout.
Radlett is lovely.
Put it this way: if I could live anywhere in London, it would still be North London.
Yeah, and Radlett basically is North London, but it's closer to St Albans.
Yeah, but it's in Hertfordshire kind of vibe. But St Albans, that's another banging shout. St Albans is banging.
There's some great. There's I'd love to go there. I don't know how I would get there. We need to find someone that drives. We need to call Res. There's a wonderful restaurant that does waffles in St Albans. It's called the Waffle House, which is an old stone mill. It's an old.
Does it do chicken and waffles?
No, it's like old school. It's sweet waffles. They probably do chicken and waffles. I haven't looked at the menu. But
they best do because I'm dying for that.
Like it's got the aesthetic I adore. It's an old mill, so it's got the wheel going, and it actually works. It actually does stuff, and it's just old brickwork, and it's good food, and it's great. It's brilliant.
Well, we'll do it before I go back. Yes, it is. It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Always has been, always will be. Going up towards the M25, it's an absolute pain in the arse.
Richmond for me isn't. Richmond is really nice. I wouldn't take Richmond over Radler or Hadleywood or.
It's lovely. It's just not. It's very. I'm sure it's the same in Wales, Welshie. That literally there's such a divide here. Like in London, like if you're a North Londoner, you don't go south.
Yeah, I don't like.
If
the
you're an
South.
East Londoner, you don't go west, and vice
If you're an
versa.
East Londoner, you definitely don't go south.
Yeah, it got to the point. There seems to be
It's
this.
rivalries.
Yeah, I couldn't live outside North London if I lived in London.
It'll come back to me. Last time I wore top hat and tails was 44 years ago.
His
Bring
wedding.
back vibes, although not a copper. Once Daniel Levy regenerates Tottenham, that would be Angel Islington vibe. Maybe.
No, right.
So has the longest market in Europe, don't you know? It does. But going back to that that divide, I used to get so many complaints in Stockwell, where my other shop is. Because they would say I was too loud. Too loud? I'm working in a coffee shop with loud things. I need to speak up. I'm just like say, oh, they don't like me. They don't like they didn't like my strong Cockney accent, even though I don't have a Cockney accent.
Yeah.
It's that middle of Cockney and Essex. It depends who I'm speaking to. But yeah, it's madness. Like, they would rather speak to someone who doesn't speak a word of English, but is quiet, than someone that speaks perfect English, but is too loud. It's weird, South London. Stockwell is weird. I do like
I took Ilana. When Ilana and I were living here, and she got close with a friend that she was working in this company with, and they moved into a house in Lewisham.
Yeah.
And they're having a housewarming, so Ilana wanted to go to it. So I was like, okay. And I was like, listen, we're going to South London.
Yeah.
You're going to see it's like we're in a different country. You're going to do a different city. You're not going to. We got there, and she was like, on the way back, she was like, I cannot wait to get back into North London. I cannot. She's like, no. There's just something about it. There's just something about the difference.
There is definitely that when you're talking to someone from South London, isn't it? There is definitely that. I mean, it's like, it's crazy. Big up Top Spurs. Big up Ben and Brian.
Big up.
Sponsored by Alex THFC. Big up Alex. Big up Alex as well. But it's Bobby. Oh, here he is. It's Bobby.
Big up, brother.
It's Bobby. Big up. There's no love between Cardiff and Swansea. No, there is no love between them. Around here, some of them are really posh. They side eye me, and I'm very, very London accent. Yeah. Mia saying Lewisham is my ends. Yeah. Boy, I'm South East London. I want to fight a lot.
Come on, then. Let's go. Let's go. But that's the thing. It's even the accents. Like, I go to Toronto, and my accent is loved, and I mean loved.
South London, your accent is hated.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
It's madness. Brian, I worked building Paul Robinson's, the ex-Spurs goalkeeper house for a few years in Hadleywood. Would be the dream, but you'd have to have millions to live. Yeah, you would.
It's ridiculous. Like the dream house that I was talking about, so it was just literally down the road. And my dad knew the builder. And this house was incredible. But what it did have below ground level was an underground marbleized sports centre.
Yeah.
Whereas a swimming pool, jacuzzi, steam room, sauna, five-a-side football pitch, but it was like a school gym's floor, basketball up there, tennis nets, but also what it could do with the swimming pool and everything. A marbleized floor where the push a button comes and covers it all, and it can become a dance space, an event space. And from a kid, I was obsessed with this house. And I always said, if I won the lottery, I'll just knock on the door and say, how much you want this cashed right here, right now? And I would have bought it. And then because everything now is getting bought and they're smashing all these big houses down and making like 5, 6, 7 luxury apartments with it, it's gone. Yeah. But yeah, Hadleywood, the prices back then, mate, were that kind of price. Now you're looking more. I mean, Lennox Lewis still lives down there. Burkamp had a place down there. Robbie Keane's got a place down there. there's a load of
What's
them. Robbie Fowler owns about 8 houses on Hadley Wood because he was the very first one. When he was coming through, he realised that, or got his advisor said to him, buy a lot of property as an investment. And he owns so many properties around the country, Robbie Fowler, and he owns a lot of them in Hadley Wood.
It's minimum 3.5 million quid.
Easy down there.
And Essex is going that way as well. Crazy. It's crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what as well. If you ever watch, George Achillia, another Spurs YouTuber, he did a video, which I think you'll be able to easily find on YouTube. It says spending a day in the life of a Premiership footballer.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to be doing everything, but they showed you around a house in Hadley Wood, which is quite close to me. And this house, like no one was living there at the time being. These houses are just ridiculous down there. They're just absolutely sodding ridiculous. Breathtakingly good houses.
Tom is saying, born in Bow. So glad my dad was a Tottenham fan. Bless him. Yeah, Bow is not Tottenham territory.
Yeah, that's very, very anti-Tottenham territory.
That is prime West Ham. You couldn't get more West Ham if you tried. That is like literally you're born with 2 hammers in your hands, and if you're born in Bow.
Your dad is a superstar, Tom.
Yeah.
Back in those days, you'd have to have some front to be a Tottenham fan in Bow.
It's just I've got a wonderful friend who works in my local tap room, and he is a Man United fan, but he was born in Leeds. Like, it was not fun. That is like just as bad, if not worse. It's mad. Does Potter's Bar still have huge houses?
Do you know what, Alan? Potter's Bar has changed a lot recently. Yeah. A lot. There's still certain parts that have got the big houses, but it's changed a lot. It's changed, but I'll tell you what, a lot of people I know have moved out of Cockfosters and gone up to Hadley Wood. Potter's Bar. So it's still a nice area to live in.
It's like loads of people that left the old East End. We're talking Hackney, Shoreditch, Homerton. Yeah. They all went to Debden for the same reason. They went to Debden.
Yeah.
And then they went further out to Brentwood and what's the other? I don't know. I can't remember. Brentwood.
Cockfosters is a very well respected area, and where my parents' house is, like my mum grew up 4 doors down, literally 4 doors down. And when this house came on the market, my parents bought it in '87 without paying any estate agents. They had a gentleman's agreement that people honoured.
Yeah. I wonder what that's like.
House. But round the corner, you got the school, you got the station just at the bottom of my road. You've got it's prime location, Cockfosters. It really is.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the only place I've seen, because usually people move that way. They don't really go they don't go there to there. They go there. But the only way I have seen that is Clayhall. A lot of the people that lived in Clayhall, God bless Clayhall, what's left of it, they all went to Hampstead. They went to where you were saying. They went to Highgates. They went to Hampstead. Yeah. They went to Reddington Road because for some reason there was a couple of decades in the history of Clayhall where people, I don't know whether it was Beale High School just being an amazing school, but everyone that was there became very, very wealthy.
Yeah,
and it's Clayhall, and from people that don't know Clayhall isn't the greatest place anymore. But they all went to Hampstead because they didn't go like that. They went like we're there, and then they went up vertically. That's how much they started earning. It's crazy. Bobby's saying, "Well, that's my long 7-minute break over. Back to it. Have a fantastic day." They need to give you longer breaks, buddy.
It all depends. I've been on the bus with Bobby. It all depends. If he gets there early, he gets a longer break. But obviously, if the buses or the traffic has been bad, and he gets there, and there's only like 4 or 5 minutes till he's due to be, then they've got to do it, unfortunately, which is a bit out of order. But then there's a timetable that everyone is keeping to try and get on the buses at certain times. So it's very, very hard for him. He works very hard, Bobby K.
Top man as well.
Without a doubt.
And saying, as a kid, my dad would drive through Cockfosters and Potter's Bar when we went to my nan's in Hackney. Absolutely. Yeah. My grandparents, my nana supported Spurs, was from Stepney. Do you mean Stepney Green? Stepney Green's an interesting part of the world because it's that border of Whitechapel. There are some decent places there. but it's Whitechapel is there, and Whitechapel is a monster.
Yeah.
Still got the best bakery in London, though, Whitechapel, and that is, of course, Rinkoff's. So if you've never been to Rinkoff's in Whitechapel, we've got to organise something. I need to do a thing from Ring. I love Rinkoff's are sensational. They do crow doughs, which is a cronut, but they call it a crow dough, which is a deep fried croissant, which is a donut.
Well, we have to go there, Ben, aren't we? On
Rinkoff's in
one of our missions.
Graham will come with us. I think
There
Graham
you go.
Rinkoff's got to do
There
an
you
outing.
go.
Or we could do an order, because I know Mr. Rinkoff very well.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, we can do that. So, yeah. Unfortunately, Brian, we've run out of time. That hour went quickly.
That flew.
Yeah. Always does, Brian, when we have good conversation. There's another. Who thought this conversation would come up? Parts of London, but
Exactly. That's it. That's it. The unpredictability.
Yeah.
The variety.
We go to the Bible shop in Bethnal Green. We can go to Bible Bake. Graham will definitely be there if we go to Bible Bake. That is a day out. Spurs YouTubers go to all the best places in East London.
You're talking like the Monopoly board pub crawl, but we'll just
it's going to be delicious Jewish food.
Yeah, we'll just mark restaurants and go to it.
Great stuff, Welshie. So yes, we will be back tomorrow here on the Coffee Company at 2 p.m. We've not got anything to do tomorrow, so we might be jumping on. I know Perchy's not streaming tomorrow. Damn it, Perchy! Damn it, Perchy!
Do you know what? Maybe in his absence, we might. I think maybe we'll do a Tottenham on Tour live pop up.
We can do that. We'll speak with Perch.
We'll see that.
But yes,
we'll see what
thank
we do.
You all so much for watching today's show. We'll be back tomorrow. Take it away, Brian.
And as always, Levy out.
And if you smell what the cough is brewing, thank you all so much for watching today's show. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Ciao for now.
A little different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned where I had sometimes played chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score.